Hi Deku Fam.
Hey Deku Fam.
How you doing?
How you doing?
It's been a hot minute, hasn't it?
It's been a hot minute.
We're still rolling in the Ghana wave. Still vlogging, still showing you the Ghana vlogs. We hope you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the love, like
support.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Hope you felt like you were in Ghana with us. But we're back in London town, and we're on our way to a speaking engagement where
our first speaking engagement.
It's actually not, you know, it's actually not. We've spoken at like radio shows.
Yeah, well, it's our first speaking engagement where it's like in front of people, live audience, no editing, not, you know.
Yeah. So we're bringing YouTube to a live environment. So pray for us right about now. But we're really excited. Like, we're so excited to encourage everyone around intentional dating. Yeah. So the what?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just saw.
Do you see our? This one?
Yeah, it's African.
Yeah, it's Nigerian. Anyway, this is our friend Cece. Amazing.
Hi. She's a ride or die.
Yeah, always. She was literally with us from last night. She's that friend, you know. She doesn't feel like she's third wheeling. That's what we need. Anyway, I think we've arrived, so we're gonna try and record some snippets for you. Adela and Keith are coming at some point as well. But yeah, it's about to go down.
Look at them on their phones as I'm trying to do my vlog. Quite proud of us. We're early. You know, it was a struggle getting 2 women out of the house this morning.
That's the one.
But I did it.
You were the one that was. We were the one
Please.
We were waiting for you.
No.
Wow.
Did you not get oil in your dress? Try to put some holy oil. Try to put some holy oil to get that anointing for tonight. Huh?
I was ready though. I was ready before you. Mr. Exfoliating.
Mate, I have to exfoliate, you know. You don't know. You gotta come correct. Come on.
You use my vitamin C as well, didn't you?
No, I use vitamin C.
You look like you. Shining.
I don't use vitamin C at night, you know.
I'll tell you guys a personal story, right? I actually can't believe I'm sharing this. But share it. So around January 2016, my now husband invited me out, sat down with me, and said, I think we need to break up because I don't think you actually get the purpose of this. I was like, me? He was like, oh, I don't think you actually understand what I want. I've gotten to a point in my life where I know I need help and you don't seem to be getting it. So basically I wasn't thinking the way he was thinking. But I couldn't believe it. I was actually like, this man just trying to break up with a Ghana woman. So for those of you, I'm from Ghana and I'm from a place called the Accra people are the Ghana people, right? And we're like, oh yeah, hey, you don't mess with us. But he was literally messing with me. But it was such a wake-up call for me because I realized that I was just really enjoying him and having fun with him, but I wasn't really thinking about purpose in the future. So I decided to spend time and actually research on marriage and just talk to God about this whole thing called marriage, pray about it, ask God for the desire to actually get married. While I was preparing, I met this couple, this amazing couple on YouTube. Hey. And if you know me, then you know that I don't joke with them. But I learned so much from them, especially about intentional dating. So fast forward 2017, around August time, I'm sitting in a coffee shop with my now husband, and I bring a whole plan. I got this. 3 months later, we planned our wedding and we got married.
Wow.
But so for me to actually have Gabes and Anna here is a testimony for me. I was trying so hard not to cry when I found out they could come. Oh my God, they're coming! But it's such a testimony for me because they are actually my teachers. And they're much younger than I am, but they are my teachers. And so I'm really excited that they're here today. And there's a lot of pressure on them. I can see their faces. They're thinking, what? But I'm really excited they're here today. They're going to see something very unique. Usually they speak into a camera and they edit it. But they're going to speak straight to you guys live. And so if there are any beef, they can't fix it. If they argue, we will catch them. But please, without spending any more time, help me welcome Gabes and Anna.
Hi everyone. Hi. We're Gabes and Anna. Who's subscribed to our channel? Who's not? Get out. Get your phone out now. I'm never joking, we need them to subscribe. But hi guys, we're so excited to be here with you guys today. It's such an honor to be invited to talk about intentional dating. We dated for 2 years, 11 months altogether. But he proposed, yeah, 2 years, 10 months. He proposed after a year and 3 months.
8 months.
He proposed after a year and 8 months. And then we did like a year engagement, and now we're married, and we made it big. We were married 2 years.
Yeah. Are you sure you made the right decision?
Yeah, I'm happy. I don't even know. It's either one. It's the one now because we're married. You know what I mean? But yeah. So we're going to talk about intentional dating, and I think for us, like, I don't know if you guys know our like past and stuff, but before each other, we were hot messes, right? Our relationships. Oh my god.
Very difficult relationships.
Yeah.
So we've actually made a decision to not to repeat the past. Because sometimes we can keep going over the same mountain, going through relationship to relationship, having so many mistakes. So we thought, let's just be intentional.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, everyone wants to have a successful marriage. Everyone wants to, have a successful relationship, but you actually need to be intentional.
Yeah.
So today we're just going to talk about intentional dating, and we've got a few points just to kind of tell you like our mindset along the journey. So we've got like 5 areas that we're going to talk through. Intentional
dating starts with being intentional about loving and accepting yourself. Yeah. So before you even start like dating and get into a relationship with someone, you need to be intentional about loving yourself. Like, are you whole on your own? People always say that like 2 halves come together, or the world says 2 halves come together and then you become one and all of that. But we don't actually believe that. As believers, like, we are whole on our own. Christ is enough. Happiness comes from within. And then we seek relationships after that.
Yeah, we come here believing a lie, thinking that someone else is going to fulfill us. Like, we have to find happiness within ourselves, and then when we're ready and we feel like we're comfortable, then we're able to be in a position to go out and pursue a relationship. Otherwise, we're going to find ourselves in a very toxic relationship. Because all that happens is, you have your insecurities lie to you and say, you need someone else to make you feel happy. Then all that happens is that you lower your standards. Then any Tom, Dick, or Harry comes into your relationship, and literally, like, you're not going to be happy.
That was me, boy, before Christ. Oh my god. Like, a guy would just have to look at me and I'm like, yep, hi. I don't know, like, it did something inside of me. I was like, yeah, it feels good. And I used to be so feelings led, like even now, sometimes. But I used to be so feelings led. So like, a guy would just give me attention, and I'm like, oh, okay, you must be the person I'm meant to be with. And I'll just get into a relationship with that person, and then like, they won't call me for a week, and I'm here thinking, what's going on? Like, why? But it's because, like, I was attracting where I was at. Like, I was attracting people from where I was at. So sometimes we struggle to, like, have difficult conversations with ourselves and say, like, why am I accepting someone of this caliber? Like, is this my portion? No. So we have to, like, step away from that relationship and really analyze ourselves and say, actually, I'm not whole. Actually, I need to take time reflecting on who I am, spend more time with God, understand, like, did I know my gifts, my talents, all of that stuff back then? No, I didn't. The honest truth was, I was incomplete, and that's because I didn't have Christ and know His love.
And being on the receiving end, because in my past relationship, I was also with someone who had a bit of insecurities, and then they put all this pressure in a relationship because you're the one who's supposed to fulfill their every need, and then you're trying to fill a role that you were never designed to. I think when you go into a relationship, you complement each other. Yes, I try and make Anna happy, but ultimately, that's her responsibility. Her happiness is her responsibility. My happiness is my responsibility. And then we can actually think about, okay, why did actually God bring us together? What's the things that we're here to do? Where are we striving? Where are we going? Rather than thinking about putting each other's oxygen tank, just thinking, like, you have to fulfill my every need.
And I think when we met each other, we were both in such great places individually. Like, I'd just found Christ, and I was like, I went on a mission trip to Philippines on my own. Like, I was just so comfortable in who I was. Gabes was studying in the library, like, focusing on his career. So we were both very whole beings. And for me, it was like a bit of I didn't want to leave my singlehood. Like, I think there should be a struggle, because you're loving life so much on your own, you and God, and the best situation, that when you meet someone, it's like, oh, you better be worth it. Do you know what I mean? You better be worth it. You see about my singlehood. And I actually didn't want to meet him that early. I was like, oh, he's too good to say no to you. So I was like, okay, we will progress this. But I think sometimes we're so insecure on ourselves that the first guy that gives us attention is like, yep, you're my husband, or yeah, we should go forward. But is that the type of person that you want? Like, no, it might not be. So being whole in yourself, so being intentional in dating starts with being whole by yourself.
And like I said, it's all about being responsible for your happiness. So we're all going to say it together. Say, I am responsible for my happiness. I am responsible for my happiness.
So good. Next step,
as though there's a formula, but we. So be intentional about starting with the end in mind. Yeah. Intentional dating starts with being intentional.
And the end in mind.
Go.
The end in mind is actually thinking about marriage. Like, if you're starting to date, you have to ask yourself, why am I dating? It's not saying that you have to say, this person is my partner, but you have to be questioning, am I actually ready for marriage? Is marriage even on the table? Otherwise, what are you doing? Are you going to be in a relationship for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? It happens, and not really know where you're going. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to be in a position where we're, our flesh is just constantly doing things that we shouldn't be doing just because we haven't, like, kind of labeled the season, if that makes sense.
I think, like, as women, especially women in Christ, we can sometimes be scared when a guy approaches to say, like, I said to Gabe, the next person I'm dating is going to be my husband. And, like, that can be scary to the wrong guy, but the right guy will be like, okay, right, let me come correct. You know what I mean? I think it did shock you when I said...
It shocked me.
Yeah. I'm broadcasting it, like, next guy's my husband, everyone, the next guy's going to be my husband. And
because I was not thinking that. I thought, we were friends at the beginning, and I thought, okay, she's a nice girl, we're getting on. We've actually said that we're actually interested in each other, so I thought it's going to be an easy one. You just secure the bag, you just keep moving, But then, to my surprise, Valentine's Day was coming, and I asked her out, and she said no. She didn't just say no, she said no. I tried to ask her why. She didn't want to give me an answer.
I gave you answers, but you didn't accept it.
Okay, cool. They were not good enough. Anyway, so in my head, it went over my head, so I was like, okay. Pardon?
I just said no.
I'm not sure.
Like, if I open up my heart and I let you take me out on a Valentine's Day, the most like romantic day of the year, my feelings, because I knew myself, I knew my feelings would just run and be like, yeah, this is my husband. But God hadn't confirmed it yet. Like, I didn't feel at peace yet. So I wanted to take time getting to know him and like group surrounding. But my guy, no, he wasn't taking that, Half an hour at the library was...
Yeah, we were going backwards and forwards. Then she storms off. I dashed the hot chocolate. I ran. It was like a real dramatic movie. But she didn't know I was running after her because she took a left, I took a right, got to her house before she did.
I don't know,
But you know what you want, you gotta keep pursuing. So in that moment I was like, okay, I get what you're saying. Because when she said, the next person I meet is going to be my husband, she wasn't really saying that you have to be my husband before I move forward, but she just saying her mentality is that we have to make sure that in this season that we're about to go in, we need to know that we're ready, so we need to take time. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give you your time. And then we just went through a stage of like 6 months of getting to know each other, talk to each other, even like, I don't know, talking about what we want to do when we finish uni, because sometimes we can start enter into relationship, but we don't even know the season that the person wants to go to. Like, we were in university at the time. Like, after university, what's the plan? What's the vision? Where do we see ourselves going? Because we always, like, sometimes as Christian, we can think about the spiritual stuff, like we like spiritually flowing together, but we have to sometimes think about the practical things. Where do you want to live when you finish university? We have some really practical conversations and see if our paths were, aligning. And I think like after 6 months it was, I officially took her out, asked her out properly, and secured the bag.
But yeah, I just think starting with the end in mind just changes your mindset. So it's a mindset that you like go into conversations with or whatever to make you think that, okay, is this the type of person that I want to have kids with? Because starting with the end in mind is thinking about marriage, thinking about children, and it filters out a lot of people that you maybe would have given time to if you were just thinking quite casually and like, oh, we'll see how it goes. Like, that never works. So you've been intentional about loving yourself. You've been intentional about starting with the end in mind in your mindset, and then now you're being intentional about removing each other's masks. So we're in a relationship now.
Yes, we're now in a relationship.
Yeah, we've acknowledged that we're taking that step.
Exactly, and it's about removing each other's masks, because the thing is, when you get into a relationship, everyone is trying to put their best foot forward. We're trying to impress each other. We're trying to pretend we're someone that we're not, because we're scared to allow someone in. But the thing is, for us, I think our conversations went deep real quick. We just started talking about everything, all our insecurities, the reasons our relationship ended in the past, how at that point in time when we were in our last relationship, we were not even saved. So like, even talking about sex, everything was on the table. We just spoke right from the offset. And because we spoke about it, I think it brought a lot of healing. Like from our past, we were able to move. Past that. It actually brought a lot more depth in our relationship. Like the fact that I can show myself and I can be really vulnerable, but yet feel accepted. It brought a lot of intimacy within our relationship.
Yeah, I think like we have to be intentional about getting to know each other, because I think now with like social media, you think you know people, you don't even check up on your friends as much because you know you see, oh, they posted so they're okay, and you can do that in your relationship, like, oh, they must be okay, or you know, we posted a picture on our date night, so that date night was good, but did you actually talk to each other? Like sometimes we get so caught up in like the illusion of each other when you haven't even had like difficult conversations. Some people don't even know like their partner's siblings name, like the most basic of situations. We were asking like, what's your family history, like, and then the generational stuff that are on your life that we're gonna have to break through being together. Do you know what I mean? Like, has there been any successful relationship in your family history? Like, we had serious stuff, sex life, we went into specifics, like what did you do with your ex, like all of these things. And it's like that's built.
You need to understand expectations. You need to know what they're going through.
Mate, I just know what I'm working with, do you know what I mean? So, like, we just felt very comfortable, or it took a while to get to that, obviously, but step by step, day by day, because we started with the end in mind, like, if I'm going to marry you, we need to both be on the same page, we need to know each other's past. There's no one that can tell me anything about Gabes that I don't already know. And that builds intimacy, like, we are so close to each other, we're each other's best friends, we run home to each other after work, and that didn't just happen by magic, because, oh, you know, I'm attracted to you, you're attracted to me. It's because we took time to be intentional in our dating season. So because
we all think about like when you get married, the two become one. You think that you just magically your paths align, but that's not true. It starts from your dating phase. Like what kind of conversations you having? You're aligning your path from your dating phase, and then literally, then when you become one, then yes, you become one spiritually, but people can still be operating and be spiritually one, but be practically separate and going on the separate path. And it's those intentional conversations that you have that are so important and crucial. So like even now we'll have those difficult conversations as well. Like if, for example, sex is not great, I'm able and comfortable to go to her and say, look, what's going on? Like or our communication is not. We need to have those difficult conversations, because otherwise it harbors in our heart, and then we go elsewhere trying to look for validation and stuff. So you don't want to give anyone an opportunity to kind of pull you out of your relationship. So you need to be able to trust, you know, set the environment so they're able to have those kind of conversations. And how beautiful is it when someone knows your weaknesses, knows your imperfections, knows your family history, everything, but still chooses to love you? Like, then nothing compares to that. And I feel like Gabes found out so much about me, and I was really even scared to tell him everything, but he's still here, and that is what builds a sustainable relationship. Like that trust, that vulnerability, and that intimacy that comes through communication. So you don't need the physical activity in your courtship for you to be intimate with each other. You can be intimate through conversation. Be intentional about choosing love, because you know when you're dating, it's all mushy at first, isn't it? And the way that the world describes love is like, I was reading this post and it was talking about love is just an elusive thing that just flows through. Is here 1 minute, is gone the next, and then so we think that when we're feeling love, then that's the time we exercise love towards our partner. Or when we're not feeling love, that's when, like, you know, stay away from me, I'm an introvert, so don't talk to me, all that kind of stuff. But that's not how we have to carry ourselves in a relationship. Love is something that we can actually put on. And we look at like the, you know, they say the passage of love is 1 Corinthians, and he talks about love is patient, love is kind. Like these are things that you can actually put on, regardless of whether you're feeling it or not. I don't have to feel like being patient in order to be patient. I don't have to feel like being kind in order to be kind. These are things that we have to push through, because like we can have like, it's just a prideful thing, feeling like just because I feel a certain way, I'm supposed to not act on it. But sometimes we have to, you know, overcome that and literally challenge ourselves to be better in the relationship. 100%. And sometimes as well, when we don't feel it and we put on love, the feelings come afterwards. But sometimes we're waiting for the feelings to come before we start acting with kindness and with love and all that kind of stuff. So just put on the love anyway, and then the feelings will come. And then the last one is be intentional about seeking God together. So intentional dating is
being intentional about seeking God together. That's
Daniel already stole our scripture, but so in Psalms 127:1 it says, unless the Lord builds a house, the builders labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the guards stand watch in vain. So literally we're trying to sort out this, work out how to navigate our relationship. We go to different conferences, we read all these books, but if we don't have God at the center of our relationship, like, we can't really sustain it. And for our wedding, we had like Ecclesiastes 4:12 everywhere, where it says a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. And really, we need to have God at the center, because for me and Anna, we are so different. Like, if you want to do every type of personality test that we do, we're the opposite. So in terms of compatibility and stuff, we're complete opposite. But I think that it's amazing how God is able to still weave our paths together, and He's able to constantly keep pulling us together, and we are also intentional with working through it. And we can only do that by having the strength of pride, because I want to give up. I want my pride wants to give in sometimes, but I can't do that. But God is the one that gives me the power to keep pushing through.
I feel like Gabes really tries to lead our relationship in God's way right from the beginning. Like, even in leading in abstaining to have sex till marriage. Like, people say, oh, guys will never be able to do it, but he really pursued that, and he was leading us in celibacy in that season. So I just feel like God was just so central to our relationship. Like, we used to always pray together, we always make sure that we serve together in our church. Like, we want to make sure we're getting the same word, like, because it's so easy to just be disjointed, even in our relationships with God. Like, one could be going one way, another could be going the other, but we always have conversations about that.
Just that constant communication that we need to have, because it's easy for you to get married and you start going your own separate way, but we really need to keep God at the center and keep moving together. Every decision, like, the way is like, yes, I'm called to be the head of the household, but I don't feel like I wouldn't say that I'm overbearing, where I'm forcing Anna into a certain box. She's expressive, I'm quite monotone, just keep it simple, and I'm okay. And I just allow her just to lift the room up, make everyone laugh, and I'll just say my 2 pence and keep moving.
I think that's it on intentional dating. We just think, like, how people say that how you start is not important, but honestly speaking, if you can start strong, like, you will reach the fruits of what you've sown, seriously. And we can honestly say that in the time of being intentional, we didn't think, oh, you know, this is going to make our marriage much sweeter than whatever. But now, being in marriage, we honestly believe that our marriage is like the best because of being intentional in our dating phase.